really didn't want to make multiple negative videos in a row, but I guess my outlook on life is more or less negative, so therefore it's been a calling card. And this needed to be talked about anyway. It's a pretty buzzy topic, so screw it. AEW, what are we going to do with you? I mean, they just continue to dig a deeper and deeper hole for themselves. They've been an absolute mess for the past year and change. They went through a nasty breakup with arguably the best star they've ever had and probably ever will have. I mean, they've gotten worse as the years gone by, and they can't beat NXT in the ratings, and Tony Khan has been a complete dumpster fire. Yeah, he's one of those legacy personalities who's never worked an honest day in his life. And he's the type of person that should not be anywhere near ownership, executiveship, managerial duties, or anything of that nature. He checks most of the boxes of all the negative aspects. Inexperienced, arrogant, immature, unprofessional, and incapable of taking a single lick of criticism. And he sunk to yet another new low by taking a shot at NXT, Undertaker and John Cena, for failing to crack 1 million viewers despite having them on their show, which I do kind of agree. I mean, that was kind of underwhelming considering the big names they were. But if we're applying that same logic to AEW, they recently signed Edge, and this was supposed to be the big signing, and I believed that it was an upgrade over CM Punk. And it's bad when he's not enough to save your sinking ship. I mean, they do get some good names here and there, but they hire all the rejects. They pick up all the trash that Vince and Hunter would just sweep to the side whenever the whole thing was over. You realize that Khan knows nothing. He's a complete idiot. And he just caters to all the internet marks, all the indie marks. And they're spending a fortune on 2 guys that are worthless, the Buckaroos. I mean, all they even know, if they even know anything, is that indie mark bullshit. I mean, the biggest exposure they've ever gotten was when they were undercard jobbers on TNA. I mean, what are they going to tell somebody like... They got absolutely zero to offer. I mean, it's a show... If you enjoy AEW, more power to you. I mean, there's things on there that you can find some enjoyment out of. I can too on occasion, but for the most... I mean, they do have some positives going for them, but it's completely outweighed by the amalgam of negatives. It's completely offset by the amalgam of negatives. I mean, they got some talent that I like on there. Eddie Kingston, Claudio, who tried the WWE experiment, didn't really work out. But most of the guys that I like are guys that are in the twilight of their careers, like Dustin Rhodes, Sting. And one of their biggest problems is, even when they do get good wrestling minds, like Jake Roberts and Tully Blanchard, they say that they're not listened to. Yeah, that's a huge problem right there. MJF, who's the champion, I've said he's arguably their best guy, and I agree with Undertaker on the One Dead Man show. He arguably should try his hand with WWE. I mean, he's pretty much spinning his tires with AEW, and I believe the same way about Eddie Kingston, but MJF is better. I mean, of course, it's not guaranteed. Your success at WWE is not guaranteed. WWE has gotten a lot better the past couple of years, but they still haven't shed their incompetence completely. They got their own set of problems. There's no doubt about that. But I believe it's worth a shot. And if MJF wants to take a shot to become the star that he truly has the capability of being, he needs to dump that Bush League and get to the big time. And I believe the same way with Eddie Kingston. I mean, there's no professionalism. It's just a complete botch fest. These guys aren't properly trained. I mean, the fact that one of the main trainers is QT Marshall, first of all, who the fuck is that? It's just complete nightmare. And not just Tony Khan, but most of the guys in that company can't take a lick of criticism. I mean, the Buckaroos have me blocked on Twitter. I never even fucking tweeted them. And you should have seen the exchange between Matt Hardy and Jim Cornette and Brian Last. The Jim Cornette podcast is definitely entertaining, and he's speaking the absolute truth. And the words he's saying bothers the shit out of him, and it's been evident for a while. But, I mean, of course, you could go back if things don't work out in WWE, but some of those guys on there that I really do enjoy watching, I don't want them to waste their lives in AEW. I mean, they were taking a shot at Undertaker. First of all, you'll never have a star like The Undertaker. And John Cena, I've said it for one of the longest times. If you followed me for a long time, I've hated John Cena's guts for years. I hated his character. I hated the fact that he always got favorable booking over guys, one guy after the other, that I believe was more talented than him. But there were some things along the way that started to make me change my perspective on him a little bit. And I do plan to make a video about that in the future. And I promise you, the next video I make about something else will be positive. I promise you that. Because there are other things that I do enjoy talking about that I'm looking forward to. So I hope to see you then. Anyway, I hope you enjoy yourself. If you like AEW, more power to you, but let's be honest, it's shit. And it's suffering the same problems that both WCW and TNA. With WCW, it's the egos that are booking themselves to be champions, and with TNA, it's an inheritance brat whose inheritance will eventually dry up, just like Dixie Carter's did. But anyway, that's all for now. See you later.